What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Brain Waves. Welcome to my show. Make sure you double tap the screen when you come into the building. We got a doozy today. That's right, I said a doozy. Take it however you want. We got to talk to you all about Trey Reed, okay, and Corey Zukatis. That's right. There's two people, Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis. They both were found hung from a tree. That's right. Let me repeat that. You have two individuals in the same day, in the same state, that were found hung from a tree. Now, we're going to look at the article, but I want to go ahead and talk to you all about a point. How come these black churches are not talking about this? Come on now. How come all of these black churches are not speaking on it? They're silent. They don't say a word, but yet they quick to talk about Charlie Kirk. That's right. All these black churches quick to voice an opinion immediately on social media, immediately within their congregations about Charlie Kirk. But when it comes to Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis, they're silent. How come these churches ain't speaking up? And I told you all about the hypocrisy in these churches. You see, all of this stuff where these churches and these content creators who are also trying to push this race war. You see, it's a race war agenda. You got these content creators on YouTube who are also quick to speak about Charlie Kirk. It's Charlie Kirk's fault. All of a sudden, all the world's issues, all the issues in our community is about Charlie Kirk, right? And you even got content creators that are talking about Trey Reed, him being hung. But we're the content creators to talk about the white guy that also got hung. There wasn't just a young black man, it was a young white man that also got hung. And his name was Corey Zukatis. How come they not covering that? Why are they trying to only cover Trey Reed? And why are they trying to twist the narrative into making it seem like Charlie Kirk got something to do with it to try to start some type of race war rhetoric when you have both somebody black and white hung from a tree? Let's look at the article, okay? This is all over the internet. People are talking about it. Maybe you heard about it, maybe you haven't. What you're looking at, these are the two men that were found hung from trees in Mississippi on the same day. Now, some people would say the hanging of people is a racist crime, a racist form of, you fill in the blank. It's nothing good. But what we have here is a white guy was also hung. So what's really going on? What does this mean? Let's look at the article. All right. It says two men found from trees in Mississippi on the same day. Okay. Right here it says Mississippi is reeling after two separate but eerily similar tragedies unfolded on Monday. Now, mind you, this is something that took place yesterday. It's not like it took place today. So somebody make this make sense to me. If this news hit the streets yesterday, how come these black churches are quiet? Ain't none of them talking, ain't none of them making content, ain't nobody popping up at the mouth. Social media is going wild talking about this situation. And you know what's funny, y'all? A lot of people on social media don't even know about Corey Zukatis. They're just talking about Trey Reed. You know, the black guy that got hung, and they go push that race narrative. But this is something more sinister that's going on in our world right now. Because right on the heels of Charlie Kirk being brutally assassinated, remind you, he was brutally assassinated. Now we're having people being hung from trees. I mean, come on, what's next? But let's finish the article. It says that Mississippi is reeling after two separate but eerily similar tragedies unfolded on Monday, yesterday, leaving families, friends, and entire communities searching for answers. Within just hours of each other, two men, one a young college student and the other a homeless man. You gotta stop and think, the other guy's a homeless man. Come on now. It says that they both were found dead, hanging from trees in different parts of the state of Mississippi, might I add. The shocking finds, one in Cleveland and another one in Vicksburg, have rocketed public confidence, stirred demands for openness, and rekindled bitter reminders of racial violence in the South. And see, let me make this clear. I'm going to turn the music down. You got these content creators that are on YouTube right now, and I'm going to call them out. You got these content creators on YouTube that are making videos right now, and they're trying to say that only Trey Reed got hung. They don't mention Corey Zukatis. So let me let y'all know, right off the bat, they're showing you their racist stance. They're showing you their biased and racist stance. While they're trying to say that Charlie Kirk was a racist and a white supremacist, they are literally guilty of doing the same thing. You know why? Because they only talking about the black guy and they ain't talking about the white guy. Yet you had two individuals, one black and one white, both got hung from trees. Like, what the hell is going on? If it was just Trey Reed that got hung, maybe we could say, hey, somebody's trying to start up racial violence and race wars. But you got a white boy that was hung. Somebody make this make sense. And ain't nobody talking about it. These black churches ain't speaking out about it. How come they ain't talking about it? Don't y'all think these churches as a whole, let alone the black church, need to speak out? But I'm talking to the black church, because the black church right now got a lot of ammunition for Charlie Kirk. Oh, they unloading tons of ammunition on Charlie Kirk. The black community, while we at it, got a lot of ammunition. How come the news and the media is not talking about this? I'm going to show you this on YouTube. I want y'all to take a look at something. You think that this would be blasted all over the place. Do y'all understand? Y'all would think that this would be blasted all over the place. Okay? But guess what? It's not. I'm going to show you. Let's take a look at YouTube right now. We're looking at YouTube. If you go onto YouTube right now and you type in the search Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis, let's add to it. You see my video. Let's put hung from a tree. Okay? It doesn't change nothing. You see hung from a tree. Look at what's coming up in the search results. This is me. Okay? You have one person, a content creator, who covered this, okay? This guy got 254,000 subscribers and only 160 views on this. What is going on, y'all? This guy here, only 14 hours ago, is only talking about Trey Reed, okay? Look at this. Another content creator, she's got 562,000 subscribers. She's only talking about Trey Reed. Look at the pictures. You only see Trey Reed. How come nobody's talking about Corey Zukatis? I'm just trying to let y'all see what's going on. You got another, this is USA Times. They're talking here about Trey Reed, but they're not talking about Corey Zukatis. Another person here is talking about Trey Reed. Another person just talking about Trey Reed. Another person's talking about Trey Reed. Oh, we got another content creator. So we two right now. Besides me, this is the second person who just went live. They talking about Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis. And you know what make it so bad, y'all? What happened to Corey Zukatis' body is far worse than what happened to Trey Reed. And nobody's talking about it. Trey Reed, let's continue. Trey Reed How come the news and the media is not talking about this? Where's the news? Where's all the news and media outlets? You got the millionaire, you got Anton Daniels, whatever, talking about the black Mississippi student. Okay, but nobody's talking about the other guy, Corey Zukatis. Why does it seem like I'm the only one that's talking about Corey Zukatis? Besides the other like two people. And then, everything else is about Charlie Kirk. Okay, here we go. Another person. They only talk about Trey Reed. I want y'all to see this. I'm not making this up. Again, Trey Reed. This was yesterday. Trey Reed. Nobody's talking about Corey Zukatis, but like 2 to 3 other people. Y'all see this? And look, we could just continue to go on and go on. It's not talking about anything. And then if you go type them into the news search, let's take a look at the news and media outlets. Okay? If you look at these news and media outlets that we have right here, you have the Economic Times here. You got Yahoo, you got WLBT, and then you got Times of India. And you got Mississippi Free Press. Okay, but not like these people don't have videos from what I can see. Let's see if any of these people got videos. Okay, well, lo and behold, we actually have one that has a video. Can you believe that? WLBT3 actually put up a video. Let's take a look at this video. Let's see what they got and what they're saying, because this video was done how long ago? At 1:02 Eastern time. So, basically about 3-4 hours ago. 4 hours ago, roughly at this time. Let's turn the music down and let's see what they got. Let's see what they got to say. Because I'm surprised it's not making bigger news. Let's go.
I have found the secret that the biggest YouTubers don't want you to know. Have you noticed how going viral on TikTok doesn't translate over?
All right. Why they switch the audio down here, man? This is crazy anyway.
Authorities are investigating the hanging deaths of 2 men in 2 Mississippi communities. In Vicksburg, police say a man was found hanging from a tree yesterday in a wooded area off Washington Street near a casino. He was identified as Corey Zukatis of Brandon. For now, the case is being classified only as a death investigation. No other information has been released. Meanwhile, classes were canceled yesterday at Delta State University when a man's body was found hanging from a tree on campus. He has been identified as 21-year-old Trey Reed of Grenada. Authorities say there were no immediate signs of foul play, but multiple agencies are assisting with the investigation. University President Daniel Ennis issued a statement saying, "Our community is deeply saddened by this loss. We extend our heartfelt condolences to family, friends, and all those impacted by Trey's loss."
I have found the secret.
Crazy, yo. So here we go. We saw that particular, so that was WLBT. Okay. Let's see what's here on Mississippi Free Press. Okay, Mississippi Free Press is just showing the information. All right. They had a misidentified photo that circulated on social media. It was actually this guy by the name of Gavin Fortenberry. He's a 17-year-old gun violence victim who died last month in Jefferson Davis County. They incorrectly identified him as Zukatis. Okay. They show another. Whoa, hold up. Now we got to talk about this because actually the plot gets thicker. Hold up, y'all. Hold up now. Okay, the plot gets thicker. Right here, we looking at here where it says misidentified photos, right? Circulate on social media. Let me show you this, okay? It's a guy. This is a whole different story, so I really don't want to get into this. You know what? I really don't want to get into that because it's a whole different story. Okay, let's just stick to this because I really don't want to get into this, man. This is crazy because this is updated information even to me. It says that there is a misidentified photo of Corey Zukatis that's been released in the public. Okay, that photo is of Gavin Fortenberry. Let me see if I can get that pulled up. Okay, yeah, I'll show you what the guy looks like. This is, hold on a second, y'all. Let me get this because I got too many windows up. And I want to make sure I got the right one. All right, let's get this up because I want people to have clarity on my platform. I don't want no misinformation. Okay, so this is Gavin Fortenberry right here. This is the guy that they are improperly identifying as Corey Zukatis. This is not Corey Zukatis, but this is what you're going to find on social media. He is a gun victim, violence victim, but that's not who this is. Now, back to the article that we're looking at, okay? It says that those social media posts have been showing Gavin Fortenberry, a 17-year-old gun violence victim who died last month in Jefferson Davis County, incorrectly identifying him as Zukatis. But this is the breaking news. It says there's another photo that Economic Times and Yahoo published that appears to come from the Facebook page of a Florida man named Corey Zukatis. But Husky told the Mississippi Free Press on Tuesday afternoon, that sometime this afternoon, that the man in those photos is not the same Corey Zukatis who died in Mississippi on Monday. So who's the real Corey Zukatis? This is crazy, y'all. This is straight up crazy. Who's the real Corey Zukatis? And make sure y'all double tap the screen when y'all come in the building. So the picture that I have on my thumbnail is not even Corey Zukatis. So let's check it out from this particular article. And the picture that you see down here at the bottom, that is also Trey Reed. That's another picture of Trey Reed. Okay, it says Zukatis' body was found mere hours after officials found a student hanging in a tree around 100 miles away on the Delta State University campus in Cleveland, Mississippi. But despite rampant social media speculation, police in Vicksburg said that the two deaths are not related. Now, I want to ask y'all, do y'all believe that these two deaths are not related? Or do you believe the narrative that the police is doing? Because let me give you my 2 cents. Let me put my 2 cents into this. I showed you that nobody on social media, with the exception of, besides myself, maybe 2-3 other content creators are covering this. Yeah, Pat is absolutely right. Pat says YouTube is shadow banning. No news and no media is talking about this story, right? But again, a handful of news and media. Look at the number of people that's in the building right now. But when I go live, I've had over 3,600 people watching my live streams. And with a subject like that, you mean to tell me I only got 42 people in the building? When I normally have over 3,600 people watching my lives? Go check the amount of hundreds of thousands of views I get on my videos. Come on now. There's something about them suppressing this particular news story. And then you got the police that are saying that in Vicksburg, the Vicksburg police are saying that these two deaths are not related. How are two guys going to be hung in the same state, miles away from each other, and they're not related? Can you explain that to me? And you have some type of rare and unique deaths where you're talking about people being hung. This sounds like a suppression tactic. And Pat Yeager is right. Talking about YouTube is shadow banning. YouTube ain't pushing it. I showed y'all the receipts. Y'all see what, if you Google this on social media, y'all see more receipts. Content creators are not talking about it. Appreciate that, Kosher. Kosher said, I just shared it to my Facebook. Appreciate you, fam. Because what's really going on that nobody's sharing this? Nobody's talking about this. And it's like when people talk about it, they talk about Trey Reed. We got two people that was hung in the same day. Yeah, Coach is right. You can't find ish on here. Ain't nothing out here. And then the police is saying that, oh, these aren't related. So let me get this straight. When's the last time we had hanging deaths? When's the last time you got a black guy and a white guy hung on a tree in the same state, hours away from each other, which basically 100 miles away, it would take the same type of person and the same people, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours, depending on traffic, to get to another location to go hang somebody. And why is it that it's a black college student and then you got a white homeless person? Like, what's going on? Why is this story being suppressed? Let's continue to read it. It says the student who died on the DSU campus was Damar Travion, which we're calling him Trey Reed, a black man. Campus police told the Mississippi Free Press on Monday that they do not currently suspect foul play. So let me get this straight. You got a black man in Mississippi. Yeah, got to say it like David Banner, the bottom of the barrel, hung, and you don't expect that this is foul play? Come on now. Listen, something's going on here. Either this story is fake or they're lying about what's going on. It says a Bolivar County deputy coroner also refuted rumors on social media that Reed had suffered broken arms or legs. So you mean to tell me Trey Reed that we see right here in the picture was hung on a tree because he decided to unalive himself? It says rumors have spread online since the two deaths, owing in part to the charged political climate since the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk in Utah, as well as Mississippi's history of lynching targeting black men. Some viral social media posts have incorrectly described both men as black. And as I mentioned, I've been telling you that Trey Reed is black, Corey Zukatis is white. And then it goes on, it said, but so far, neither officials in Warren County nor Bolivar County have publicly raised the possibility that either death could have been a murder. So they just saying in the same day, two guys, a black guy and a white guy, just decided to hang themselves, huh? Okay, we believe in that. It goes on to say, I don't think I should probably discuss this any further than that. No, you don't want to discuss that any further than that because you don't want to get exposed for trying to cover up what actually happened. It goes on to say that my opinion is that it was self-done. This is what that coroner is saying. It was self-done, and I have reasons for that. The Bolivar County coroner told the Mississippi Free Press yesterday while speaking of Reed's death. So they saying that Trey Reed self-hung himself from a tree. And you're saying the same thing about the other guy. Now, let's go back to the article I was originally reading because it gives more details into the information. And this is from Yahoo. Okay? It says that the student's life was cut short at Delta State University. The initial tragedy hit a Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. This was about at 7:05 a.m. yesterday. Campus police found the body of 21-year-old university student Damar Travion Trey Reed hanging from a tree by the pickleball courts. Some ain't making sense, man, and how YouTube is even suppressing the number of people coming into my live chat to see this. Again, y'all got to understand, get the likes up, double tap the screen. Because I'm a content creator who pulls over 3,600 people in my live streams. Again, look at the hundreds of thousands of views on my channel. I can get views, I get views. So for me to only have 27 people in here right now and 19 likes, they're trying to suppress this. So y'all got to double tap the screen to get this message out. It says that the report was confirmed by University Police Chief Michael L. Peeler in a press conference, stating no evidence of foul play. had been discovered to this point. The body of Reed was turned over to the Bolivar County Coroner's Office, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, and other authorities to aid in the investigation. It says, as authorities look into it as a suicide, speculation is everywhere, including here with my channel. Social media has been abuzz with theories and outrage, some pointing to evidence of physical abuse on Reed's corpse. One of the viral messages read, "Tell me Trey Reed was found beaten with 3 broken limbs. What the F kind of suicide is that?" And I appreciate y'all hitting the like button. It goes on to say that the tragedy loomed over what should have been a week of pride in Delta State. Now, again, let me just make this known. Trey Reed was a member of the LGBTQIA, etc. community. He was a member of that lifestyle. So we're trying to listen, man. Hold on, man. I gotta listen. I gotta talk to y'all. Listen up, man. Y'all gotta understand something. The attacker who assassinated Charlie Kirk is a gay male or in the LGBTQI, etc. community. And he had a lover that was another guy that was actually transitioning. So I can't necessarily say that it was that guy was a trans, because I don't know if they fully transitioned or what, but you get what I'm saying. The guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk is a member of the LGBTQIA, etc. community. Here we do have Trey Reed, also a member of the LGBTQIA, etc. community. Okay? You got 2 individuals that are a part of the community, one who did an assassination and one who got knocked off. And this is why some people on social media are trying to say, well, is this a response? Is this a response to what happened to Charlie Kirk? I don't believe that this is a direct response from anybody in Charlie Kirk's camp. But what I do know is that it's some real suspicious stuff that's going on here on social media. And the fact that they're not talking about it and they're not saying nothing and they're suppressing everybody on YouTube and social media with this coverage, I'm telling you, something is off. And they did the same thing with like celebrity. Y'all know I'm one of the best to break down and talk about these stories. They're suppressing this. It's crazy, man. Anyway, let's continue to go. It says the tragedy loomed over what should have been. Oh, that's something. Something popped up. My apologies, y'all. I was about to say, or somehow I have to tell y'all. Anyway, it says the tragedy loomed over what should have been a week of pride in Delta State. The university, having previously announced it would start its centennial observances on the same day, called off all observances and closed classes. Counseling services were available to the students and staff. Our community is deeply saddened by their loss, Delta State announced in a statement. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends impacted. So they try to make it seem like Trey Reed just offed himself. What? Because he's part of the LGBTQIA, etc. community? Listen, y'all. Trey Reed, why would Trey Reed off himself and unalive himself during the week of pride at that school if he's a member of that community? Man, y'all got to think, man. Come on, man. We got to think. Why was somebody, a member of the LGBTQIA, etc. community, off themselves during the week of pride? Let me get the article back on the screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Look at this right here. I'm going to highlight it. It says the tragedy loomed over what should have been a week of pride at Delta State. So why would a member unalive himself during that time? It don't make no sense, y'all. It does not make no sense. Can y'all not smell foul play? Can y'all not see that this is a situation of something that took place that they're trying to sweep under the rug? And my assumption is that they probably hung the white boy, got a homeless white guy and hung him to try to not make it look like it was something racial going on. Because, you know, they want to start these race wars. You got these content creators here on YouTube that all they talk about is a race war. Race war is coming. We want to start race wars. All they focus on is race wars. When a lot of them are actually guilty themselves. Like I said, where's the black churches talking about this story? Where's the black churches doing investigations? Why the black church can pop off at the mouth and be quick to drag Charlie Kirk, drag Erica Kirk, and talk about this situation. Everybody in the black community can be quick to do that. But they ain't talking about this. I'm just keeping it 100, man. I don't hide nothing. I don't back down from nothing. I tell it as it is. Why is the black church silent on this? Trey Reed died from being hung on a tree yesterday, Monday. Today is Tuesday afternoon at 5:32 p.m. This is the close of business. Business hours are done. And they not talking about it. But yet they tell you they care about us. They tell you the black church be like they care about black folks. But all you see is these pulpit pimp pastors riding around in the finest thing, driving G whatever number they on planes, and they living like millionaires. And then the congregation broken in a joke. This is crazy, man. Shout out to T. Benkei. T. Benkei says, what are you implying? That they were involved in the Kirk shooting or a random murder? So here's what I'm trying to say. I don't know who's behind all of this. Now, I have my suspicion on who is behind the Kirk shooting, and I want to save that for another video. I don't want to bring that up here because if I bring up who is potentially behind this, it'll open up the floodgates, and I'm not about to do that because then it's going to hijack this particular live stream. But what I'm trying to say is that it's very suspicious that all of a sudden Charlie Kirk gets unalive and gets assassinated. And then here we are days later, we have a young black college student found hung from a tree. The police are saying no foul play. It don't look like nothing wrong. Look like he just unalived himself. And then hours later, we got a white guy by the name of Corey Zukatis who also was found hung from a tree. It seems like the police are covering this up. The news and media are covering this up. You know, they're told to not cover this. Social media is covering this up. Everybody that's talking about this is having their views suppressed. Y'all understand? And it ain't but a handful of us even talking about it. Do y'all actually believe? I want to ask y'all without me running a poll. I mean, I might just run, you know what? Let me just put a poll. Let me put a poll in the chat real quick. Because this is just crazy, man. This don't make no sense. Like, they're covering this story up. I know a cover-up. I've covered many stories. And this is straight up a cover-up. What's up, Eternal Fitness? Let's see. Let me get I'm getting a poll going, y'all. So bear with me real quick. Hopefully I can fit this in here. Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm trying to shorten this because YouTube only give you so many. Okay. We're going to have to let it just rock with that because that's what I can fit. So I got a poll that is now going. Feel free to see the poll. And again, thank you, T. Benkei, for your support. Thank you for asking your questions. Thank you for rocking with here. I got a poll going. Let's see what y'all think. Look at what Socorro Garcia said. Conspiracy. Listen, exactly. Something's going on with this story. Look at my views, man. I only got 27 people in the building. It jumped up to 70 something, almost 100. And it's like, as soon as it keep ramping up, they keep pushing the viewers out. Again, I'm a content creator. When I talk about stories like this, I average 3,600 people in my live chat. 3,600. So even on a low day, I have 1,500 in here. Easy, strong. 500 people up. That's something. Come on now. This don't make any sense. This is crazy, man. Anyhow, we'll finish reading it. It just don't make sense for a guy that's a member of the alternative lifestyle to unalive himself during the week of Pride. That don't make sense. It's the week of Pride and you unalive yourself. So anyway, this particular article talks about another. So we had the police discover Trey Reed's body being hung at 7:05 a.m. yesterday on Monday. Okay, we're talking about Monday the 15th of September 2025. Then they said after that at 1:30 p.m., police in Vicksburg received an alarming telephone call. They said the body of a male was discovered hanging from a tree in a densely forested area off the Ameristar Casino. It says the coroner identified the deceased as Brandon White, male. It's in Brandon. That's the location. As a white male by the name of Corey Zukatis, who was 36. Zukatis was homeless. His death was confirmed by Warren County Coroner Doug L. Husky, who said Zukatis had been discovered about 10:30 a.m., but released no further information. So let me get this straight. He was found hung at 10:30 a.m. and they found Trey Reed at 7:05 a.m. Something's real suspicious with this, man. It says little is to be learned about Zukatis' latter days or the circumstances surrounding his death. No evidence indicating foul play has yet been released by authorities. Okay, they try to say it's not foul play. And they was talking about Zukatis was the one who had broken bones, but I don't even know how true that is. They said that the circumstantial resemblance to Reed's death, namely both men suspended from trees in the state of Mississippi within several hours of one another, has the nation in an uproar. And you know the funny thing about it, we got to see if this is going to hit the local news. Is this going to hit the local news? And where's these black pastors that always want to talk about how bad Charlie Kirk is? Charlie Kirk is a white supremacist. Charlie Kirk, he's this, he's racist. Where's the black church at? How come they not bringing no awareness about Trey Reed? How come they not speaking to the news and media? How come they not coming on social media? How come they don't even have a representative from their church to come on social media and talk about Trey Reed? But yet they want you to believe they for the black community. They want you, if you black, they want you to actually believe they for the black community. Don't you see? Listen, right here, let me read the rest of this. We'll get back to this. It says, the two tragedies so close in time and space have generated huge speculation and bereavement on the internet. There are some voices suggesting the deaths might not even be suicides. I do not believe two guys are just got hung from a tree in a suicide. Yeah, I'm with JKO. JKO, what's going on? JKO says the police department needs to be looked into carefully. You don't have two people unalive themselves within 3 hours by hanging up a tree. People don't off themselves that way. This ain't the medieval times, and you know, we not under like lock and key. There's many other ways that people unalive themselves. It says one user commented that two young people lynched in Mississippi. 2 children. They had aspirations and a family. Police are already trying to convince us this is a S-aside. You know, the S word. Like they unalive themselves. Nah, man, I work for public safety. You understand? I work for public safety. This is BS They're covering up this story. They're covering up what happened. They're covering up what's really behind it. Another person commented on social media, said they echoed the frustration. They said, where is the fury over this? Where are the moments of silence? Where are the Instagram stories, the think pieces, and the flags at half-mast? These boys were lynched in 2025. And this is my point. How come you don't have nobody? Everybody was pissed off at Charlie Kirk. You got these black content creators at that. They're dragging Charlie Kirk right now. Why? Because they want to start a race war. So they want to think, Charlie Kirk, he's white, and he's a white supremacist, and he's racist, and he was out to get you because you black. And if you black, you need to go against him. That's how they speak. That's the videos. These people are obsessed with it. You've got confessions of this one content creator who said they watched the Charlie Kirk unalive like 50 times. Watched him get shot 50 times. That's a deviant obsession to blood and violence and death. Who would want to watch that many times unless that's a demon sick individual? But you got content creators that's all they're doing. And some of these content creators covered Trey Reed, but they ain't bothering to cover Corey Zukatis. He got hung too. Come on, this is a part of the conversation. Somebody white also got hung, right? I know the past. I know what goes on. Come on now. This needs to be brought up. Why is the news? Why is the media? Why is everybody suppressing this? Okay? It says that some advocated for uniting and acting. Think it's time to organize. It's been that time. Gotta come together as humans. This shit ain't right. T.O. their families healing. And Mississippi got a long history and old deep wounds. Violent wounds and violent history of lynchings and racial violence. They said despite assertions by the authorities of no immediate threat to the public, many are skeptical, pointing to an ugly pattern of rash conclusions. Think about this, man. Y'all got to stop and think about this. How do we know that this is it? How do we know that we're not going to have more? How do we know this? You don't know this. I don't know this. We could say, oh, that's it. That's all it's going to be. But you don't know. You don't really know that that's it. And the question begs, why are these black churches quiet? I want to see the black church bring the same type of smoke for whoever did this and what's going on, and for this to actually be looked into, the same smoke they got for Charlie Kirk. Come on now. Y'all got a lot of smoke for Charlie Kirk, but now y'all quiet. What happened to all that smoke? What happened to all that gumption? What happened to all of that with your whole so-called congregation talking out, speaking this? And this is the hypocrisy that's in these churches. And this is what I be telling y'all about. These black churches want to make it seem like they care about you. How come ain't no black church in Mississippi even talked about this? There's no excuse for this. There's black churches in Mississippi, and not one of them have spoken out about this. Not one. Not one church has spoken out in Mississippi or any of these states, but they was popping off as soon as they could. As soon as they could get out the door and get on social media, they was popping up at the mouth, putting out videos talking about how Charlie Kirk is a racist and he's this and he's that. Video after video. But now y'all ain't got no smoke for about what's going on. And on top of that, you also had a white guy that was hung. You got two young guys that was hung, and we don't even know if this is the last of it. And then the police is covering up the story. Y'all don't see anything wrong with this? Telling you, man, this is wild. Let's take a look at the poll. I'm going to stop the poll. I'm going to stop the poll just so we could get the results in the audience. Okay? If you look at the poll, Okay. 84% of everybody here that voted on the poll. We got 25 votes. So, that's at least half the people viewing now. That was basically everybody that was viewing at one point in time. 84% of people that are here watching this particular live stream now believe that there's some type of cover up going on with the tree hanging deaths of Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis. So that means the majority of people believe that there's some type of cover up. So it's not just me. It's not just Brainwaves Advice Topics LLC. What is going on, y'all? And again, why aren't these content creators talking about it? Why aren't these content creators talking about both the black young man and the white young man? Listen, you can't talk about this story, talk about, Trey Reed was hung, and leave out Corey Zukatis. And even if you made a video earlier, right? Because listen, I'm calling out all the black content creators too. Even if you covered Trey Reed and you did it earlier, you now know the information and the evidence about Corey Zukatis. So you got to do another video to talk about Corey Zukatis. Talk about both of them. But you can't just sit up there and talk about Trey Reed and not talk about Corey Zukatis, because you know what that shows? That shows bias. That shows that you don't give a damn about the white community. Listen, man, the community is the community, regardless of skin color, race, and ethnicity. This is taking place in Mississippi. What do you think will take place? Listen, I'm telling you, man, this is wild, wild, wild. And if we just sit back and we let this go, what happens is these things start spiraling out of control. They say, hey, we got rid of unaliving them, hanging by trees. Let's start unaliving people this other way. Who's behind this? What's going on? Why is there a cover-up? Why are they quiet? Why is social media platforms suppressing the views and exposure of this particular story? Why are the news and media outlets not talking about this? How come this is not on the 5 o'clock news? How come this ain't breaking news? They wanted Charlie Kirk to be breaking news. How come this ain't breaking news? What's going on, y'all? And like I said, even on my platform, this particular story would normally have thousands of people in my live chat. I only got 48. The highest I think I hit was like 76, almost 80. It looked like it was trying to go up to 100, and it's like YouTube keeps suppressing the viewers. YouTube keeps suppressing the viewers. Look at my track record. Look at my views. All you got to do is click on my channel. I got videos that got hundreds of thousands of views. I average 3,600 people in the live chat. I'll have 5,000 plus people watching my videos. This is crazy. I'm with Ozzy. Shout out to, we got Floridian Rollo in the building. He's a fellow content creator. Make sure you can sub him up too. I'm with Ozzy. Okay, look what Ozzy says. Ozzy said that they're trying to start a race war. Yeah, they want a bunch of black folks to get pissed off that a black student got hung from a tree and nothing was done about it. The police are sweeping it under the rug. Nobody's talking about it. You know why they're doing that? Because they want y'all to get upset, to get angry. Now, I am holding the black church accountable, because if they don't talk about this story at all, then y'all know that these churches are on demon time. They don't care about you. They don't care about nothing else. And what if this was you or somebody you know, or a classmate that you know, or a neighbor, a friend, a coworker, whatever, and we got a black guy and a white guy hung. So for everybody that's white, we can't sit in there and be like, well, I'm white and I ain't got to worry about this. Somebody white was hung from a tree. And they're saying that, oh, they just unalived themselves. They just decided within hours of not knowing each other. There's got to be something to this. Either they knew each other, there's some type of connection, something's going on. Was the white guy, was Corey Zukatis a member of the LGBTQIA, etc. community? I know they say he's homeless. Was he LGBTQIA, etc.? And then we could say, well, hey, maybe they unalive and hung from a tree to members of the LGBTQIA, et cetera, community. And then we could say it was a hate crime. But see, they're not even trying to rule it a crime because they're trying to say that they unalived themselves. If they unalived themselves, then it's not a crime. Y'all see what they doing? They trying to play with y'all. They playing with us. This is crazy. And again, where the hell is the black churches on this? Listen, I don't want to hear no other video about no black church trying to drag Charlie Kirk that ain't talking about Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis. Put some respect on Corey Zukatis' name. And don't make me start getting into the scriptures and talk about what the Bible says in this. I didn't even crack open the Bible. Listen, the folks that are in error here don't want me to crack open the Bible. Because y'all know I'm one of the best at teaching and preaching this holy word. This is a travesty. Listen, the nation should be in an uproar. Let me see if I can find a couple of social media videos. Oh man, I just got notification about something else I got to talk about. Oh man. I'm sorry, y'all. I just gotta. Yo, I got a video coming, man. Y'all, I got a video coming after I get done with this. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm telling you, man, what's going on? It's like all of a sudden what is this thing doing? Like now all of a sudden everything is frozen. Like, hold on a second, y'all. What in the world is going on? I don't know, man. I got this back. All right. I should be good, y'all. My apologies. Let me show y'all something. It's like they trying to suppress all of this and they don't want us to think about this or focus on this. This is bad, man. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get something pulled up now. Everything is working. A lot of people are talking about this on social media, but like, let me see. Okay, we're gonna listen to this one because I like what this woman has to say about it. So we're gonna get this on the screen. Hold on real quick. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Okay, let's look at this, y'all. It's a TikTok post. Let's go.
It's Mo Money 0909, Mo keeping it 100. So you mean to tell me that there's 2 men that were found under a tree branch in Mississippi? We have 21-year-old Trey Reed on the left that was found at 7:30 in Cleveland, Mississippi, and Corey Zukatis was from Brandon, Mississippi, and he was found at 1:30 p.m. Both of these places are 2 hours and 13 minutes from each other, and why aren't you finding any news coverage about Corey? Okay, I had to dig to find Corey, but they got Trey all over the place. See, why aren't you finding any news coverage about Corey? And why aren't you finding any news coverage about Corey? And why aren't you finding any news coverage about Corey? Okay, I had to dig to find Corey, but they got Trey all over the place. See, they dig to find Corey, but they got Trey all over the place. See, dig to find Corey, but they got Trey all over the place. See, they messing with our emotions. I'm tired of all of this BS division that they're trying to put on us, y'all. We got to see through the lines. Shouts out and prayers to Corey and Trey's family. I'll be praying for y'all. Hey, y'all, we got to keep our heads up. Mo keeping it 100.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Mo Money 0909 for keeping it 100. I'm gonna tell her that. This is crazy, y'all. Listen, man. The reason why I talk about these stories is because there's so much more that's going on to this. It's so much more to this. Like, oh man. I'm telling you, man. We listen, we into some trouble. Okay, we into some trouble, man. Like, there's a lot brewing right here. We into some trouble. Let me see if I play another one.
I wasn't even allowed enough time to lay my head on my pillow and slumber before receiving information about this news. Another person, another body found hanging from a tree. This time in Vicksburg, Mississippi. A 36-year-old man, Corey Zukatis from Brandon, discovered near the Ameristar Casino, who they claim to be homeless. And we're still processing the death of 21-year-old Trey Reed, found hanging from a tree on his own campus in Cleveland, Mississippi. Both of these discoveries came yesterday. 2 men, 2 hangings, same state, same day. And what have we been told? Little to nothing. For Trey, the earlier line was no foul play suspected. For Corey, barely more than his name, his age, and where he was found. 2 hangings, same state, same day. And what have we been told? Little to nothing. Day. And what have we been told? Little to nothing. And what have we been told? Little to nothing. And what have we been told? Little to nothing. For Trey, the earlier line was no foul play suspected. For Corey, barely more than his name, his age, and where he was found. More than his name, his age, and where he was found. Barely more than his name, his age, and where he was found. For Corey, barely more than his name, his age, and where he was found. No confirmed cause of death, no official ruling, no answers for families, friends, or communities who are left with nothing but questions. This is 2025. Every hanging in this country deserves scrutiny. Every investigation must be independent and transparent, because we know the weight of history. We know what it has meant to find Black bodies hanging from trees in America. These aren't just news briefs or passing headlines. These are lives cut short, families in pain, communities left unsettled. The siren is blaring, and if we don't listen, if we don't demand answers, then silence will fill the space where truth should be. And that, family, is something we cannot allow.
I'm with you, sister. We can't allow this, man. Listen, man. Everybody is saying something's wrong with this.
Things that make you go, This young man right here, Trey Reed, 21 years of age, was found hanging from a tree yesterday on or near Delta University in Mississippi in Vicksburg. Now, as per the chief of police of Vicksburg, they came out and said that there was no foul play indicated, but there were reports that stated that he had 2 broken arms and a broken leg, and then coroner's reports came out and said that there were no broken bones, so there's conflict of interest there. Corey Zukatis, this guy right here, 36 years of age, was found the same day hanging from a tree in Cleveland, Mississippi, not too far from Vicksburg. And all of this comes out 5 days after CK was unalived. And the day after CK was unalived, 4 HBCUs were under threat, as well as the University of Massachusetts. So I'm trying to make sense of this. I'm not saying that they're connected in any way, but why would 4 HBCUs go under threat right after the unaliving of CK? And now we're seeing more of this. But here's the thing, this guy is white. So I'm going to wait and see if there's any connection between these two. The things that make you go,
This is crazy, man. Look, y'all. This is crazy, man. Shout out to T. Ben K again with the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Says maybe the radical left is cutting off loose ends. You know what? At this point, I would not be surprised. I will not be surprised, man. This is crazy. Look at what Val Connect King says. Racism spreading everywhere like cancer, even in Europe. Man, listen, y'all. The whole world is crazy, man. Like, this is wild, man. Like, they want us to turn on each other. It's like they do little things here, do little things there to try to get us to turn on each other. Man, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, man. Hey, look, y'all. I done cracked the hour. This is crazy, man. Look, I cracked the hour, and there's a lot more to this particular story. Okay? There's a lot more that's going on. I'm going to cover updates to this story. And what I want to see is if the black church is going to get involved with this like they get involved with covering Charlie Kirk. They quick to talk about Charlie Kirk. I also want to see if these race war instigating content creators are going to talk about Corey Zukatis, because it wasn't just Trey Young that was hung from a tree. Put some respect on Corey Zukatis' name as well. Listen, man, when people die, you got to respect the dead, man. You got to put some respect on the dead. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's nephew. You know, when people pass, that's somebody's mom, their dad, their sister, their brother, their grandmama, granddaddy, papa, meepaw, whatever you want to call it. That's their husband, their wife, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, baby daddy, baby mama. That's their baby. That's their kids, etc. Put some respect on people's name when they pass. And the fact that people aren't even talking about this and it's suppression on this subject is just as evil as people want to say, well, there's racism with Charlie Kirk and this is racist. Like all that. Listen, this is just as evil that the powers that be want to suppress it. You got the law enforcement getting involved saying there's no issues. How many of y'all remember the Stephen Twitch boss situation? Remember the dancer that was on the Ellen DeGeneres show? And Allison Hoker was his wife at the time. I mean, she ain't his, you know, she's the widowed and now with that other guy, what have you. But y'all know what I'm talking about, Stephen Twitch boss. They had the police report the same story. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. And the reason why I bring up what these other content creators do is because they participate in inciting race wars. They will only talk about what happened to Trey Reed, and then they will not inform their audience about Corey Zukatis. So then they can twist the narrative, bring up Charlie Kirk, while the tensions are high, everything is high, everybody's talking about it, and try to turn it and pervert the truth into a race war, which would get you, if you listen to that rhetoric and you receive that rhetoric and act upon that rhetoric, will put you behind bars and get you unalive and get you caught up in something. And they want to use you as a pawn on their chessboard so that you go out there and do something stupid, and then guess what they do? When you get unalived, when you get locked up, when you get injured, when your life takes an L, guess what? They're going to make content about it. They're going to use you as the pawn to make their content. And guess what they're going to say? I told you it was a race war. Look at what John Doe did. Look at what Jane Doe did. They went out here and they did it. We got to hold people accountable. And just like I'm holding these churches accountable, I want to see if these black churches got the smoke to talk about this story. Because you know, with our deep past of the church associated with lynchings and hangings and what we had to do to get through and the involvement of the church as it relates to all those things, and then the black church gets silent, get quiet. Nah, man, they fake. They be fake, man. They be fake, man. And y'all actually think that, oh, it's a black church, so I'm black. They're there for me. Nah, man, they don't care. They only care about your paycheck. These pork chop, pulpit pimping pastors. That's what they are. Pork chop eating, pulpit pimping pastors. Y'all can go to my channel alone. I've exposed a lot of them. The TD Snakes. Listen, I've been a member of these churches. I actually used to work for a mega church. I'm talking about paycheck, place of employment. I worked in the industry of churches for years. I'd have met all these gospel artists. I've seen all these things. I've been around these pastors. I've been behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I've seen things that the average person will never see as it relates to the church. As it relates to church events, all that. I know the hypocrisy firsthand. I know what's going on. Many of y'all have only sat in the pews. Many of y'all have only participated in the ministry at best, if you even done that. I've seen the hypocrisy. The Bible talks about this. There's only 2 churches out of all these churches. It's the church of Smyrna and the church of Philadelphia. All the other churches are full of it. The Bible talks about that in the book of Revelation. Go look it up. These churches are only out there for their money. They keep their 501c3 status, their nonprofit status, so they're not going to talk about these issues. They're paid and bought for by the government. Look at what Arthur Hollingsworth said. This is facts. Remember back in the 60s, 1960s, y'all, some pastors didn't want the civil rights movement to exist. This is crazy, man. Yeah, he had said earlier it's starting to look like the 1950s and 60s around here. Y'all know that the church will remain silent. And this isn't the first time that I've spoken out on how these churches be keeping us in slavery. So y'all thinking we walking around free, these churches be having people under spiritual bondage, mental bondage, financial bondage. Look, you can't get out of debt. You can't get anywhere. The church tell you, listen, the pastor, when they need something, the pastor be like, hey, congregation, they rely on you, the people. They go to the church pews. They take collections, offerings. They rely on you when you need something. I mean, when they need something. But when you need something, what do they tell you? Pray. Oh, well, Sister Jane Doe, Brother John Doe, we'll pay your light bill since you've been supporting the church. You've been tithing for years. We'll pay your light bill. We'll give you maybe $100 or $200 a month. So we'll pay your light bill and your gas bill for about 2 months. You need to trust God, pray to God, let God provide for you. That's what they tell you. But when they need money, they come to you, the members of the church. They come to the congregation. They ain't trusting in God. They trusting in you. They can trust that the members of their church, they can pay whatever it is that they need them to pay and get whatever it is they need to do. And like I said, there's only 2 true churches left according to the Bible in the book of Revelation. Listen, y'all, I know scripture very well. I was in the pulpit. Okay, I've led youth ministry. I've done street outreach ministry. I've done a whole lot of stuff. I've done Christian rap at the time, holy hip hop. I rock these stages. I help usher in Christian rap. Y'all gotta understand, I'm a content creator who's also a rapper, songwriter, producer who helped to usher in Christian rap. When there was no Christian rap, there was no holy hip hop, you didn't know what to call it, no thing was established. I helped to usher it in. Ask anybody that was around almost 20 years ago or what have you, and you can look me up. Look up Brainwaves. Ask about me. They'll say, yeah, he was one of the pioneers. He was there. These pastors tell you to go pray to God and rely on God to get your bills paid or to get out of a situation. But with them, they come to you. So what I want to know is if these black churches got the best interests at heart, why aren't they speaking out at the very least about Trey Reed? Come on now. At least in Mississippi, they cannot tell me that they have not heard of this and you're a black church in Mississippi. I'm calling on all the black churches in Mississippi. The same ones, too, that had the nerve to talk about Charlie Kirk. Because I got some videos coming, y'all. I got some catching up to do. I was out of town enjoying this wedding. One of my friends got married, traveling out of town. And so I'm behind with the content. These other content creators been getting it in. But guess what? Your boy Brainwave's going to play catch up. And I'm about to talk about a lot of stuff. I'm about to call a lot of people out. And, I'm the one to do it. My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. My heart pump the Most High. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. Somebody got to call him out, and that's what my channel's about. So at the very least, I'm putting a call out right now. All the black churches in Mississippi that had the nerve to talk about Charlie Kirk, dragging Charlie Kirk, saying this, saying that, you got a lot to say. You was quick to respond. I want every last one of y'all to bring that same smoke and talk about what happened to Trey Reed. How come they just saying it's an S side and there's nothing going on and the police are just sweeping this under the rug? Sound just like the Stephen Twitch boss situation, among others. Same thing happened. Allison went to the police. Y'all know the story. Everybody's like, it don't sound right. Seem like they sacrificed and they unalive. What's going on here? All of a sudden, they wanted to close the case with Stephen Twitch boss. No, we're going to skip the autopsy. We're just going to go straight to the funeral. The public is invited. No, now the public's not invited. All the back and forth. Y'all remember all that? We swept it under the rug. People's like, it's not right. It's not right. Here we go. The same thing. Is this a hate crime? Because again, Trey Reed is a member of the LGBTQIA, etc. community. So is this a hate crime? Or is this just a race war crime? Is it both? Like, what's going on here? And why is the news and media suppressing it? If you turn on the TV today and tomorrow and you don't see this hit the news, if y'all don't see this hit big news, y'all, 2 people in 2025 got hung. Somebody black and somebody white. You telling me this ain't big news? Man, if we turn on the news and media and don't see none of the big outlets, we don't see Fox, CNN, MSNBC, you know what I'm talking about, all the platforms that be talking about the news. If they don't cover this, if nobody else speaking up on this, something's real wrong. And that means if they could get away with this, they could get away with anything. Yeah, we got away with this. Nobody, no pushback, no kickback. Okay. So guess what else they can start doing? So when y'all start seeing more and more stuff escalate and you wonder where it's coming from, you wonder why, we're giving them the play. We're giving them the green light to go run with it. I'm not going to let them run with it. I'm going to bring awareness. I'm going to talk about it. And we just can't have this happen, man. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And listen, what does me coming to Baltimore got to do with any of this? Like, who are you telling to be quiet? What does Baltimore got to do with this? There are no hangings and lynchings that have just taken place in Baltimore. I mean, unless there's something you want to inform me about, what does coming to Baltimore have to do with this? What does Baltimore have to do with any of this? Exactly. What are you talking about in the comments? It's like people just be saying some dumb ish. We're talking about a real situation. You got somebody that's black and somebody that's white that's hung from a tree and they just sweeping the situation under the rug. And then somebody's talking about come to Baltimore. What does that got to do with this? Baltimore has nothing to do with Mississippi. We're talking about a situation that took place in Mississippi. And we talk about these black churches that are quiet. Like, what is going on? And then to make matters worse, it's kind of like Utah. Utah is going through with the whole Charlie Kirk situation. I mean, listen, y'all. Yeah, Emmet Hayes, let me say this. We've got to speak on this, because if we don't speak on this, what this means is that somebody else could be a next victim. It could be something else going on. And it's like people are so cruel and mean and insensitive. It's like they don't care about it. Again, what if this is your classmate? What if this is your neighbor? What if there's somebody that you work with or you came across the store? Oh, yeah, I know him. I know the white guy, too. It ain't just black. Listen, this hit the black community and the white community. And they're even more silent about Corey Zukatis, the white guy. Why are they more silent about Corey Zukatis, the white guy? That make this even more wicked. You figure they'll get a little pushback about somebody black being hung from the tree. But now somebody white being hung from a tree? This ain't medieval times. This ain't The Witcher. You know what I'm saying? This ain't some fantasy story or video game or movie. Y'all know like the Witcher series on Netflix, they got the hanging tree. This ain't like some movie, they just hanging people. We talking about it's 2025. We doing this? We going back to lynchings and hangings? What else we gonna go back while we on the subject? And we just gonna sweep it under the rug? We're not gonna speak out about it? Come on now. We gotta talk about this, man. So, hey, I'm about to get out of here. I got stuff that I need to take care of. I'm most likely going to be back on later because I got a lot of content to talk about. I have a lot of content to talk about and catch up on. Let me repeat this. I have a lot of stories and content and videos that I need to get out to you all, to you beautiful people, you wonderful people. And I appreciate y'all supporting me. I appreciate y'all double tapping the screen. I appreciate your super chats. I really, really do. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I do, because I'm nothing without y'all. Obviously the Most High, but God sent y'all here. And this is a real story because I don't know what's going on, man. They suppressing this. This is wild. I'm with you, Eamon. Listen, y'all. We cannot let them just get away with this and not speak out on this. Share these types of stories. Share awareness. There's people that's not even aware of what's going on. Hell, if you belong to a church, put pressure on that church. Put pressure on that church, especially if you belong to a church that's talked about the Charlie Kirk situation. Then that same church need pressure to talk about this. Because this is crazy, man. So, hey, I'm about to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody that actually took the time to listen to this story. Double tap the screen on your way out. Man, we in some crazy times. But, hey, I'll be back on a little bit later tonight. I got some things I need to handle. And when I get done, yeah, listen, Sons of Light 2 said, get out of these churches. I told you about the hypocrisy in these churches. It's a lot of hypocrisy in these churches, a lot. And they're trying to start race wars. They want white people to be pissed off at black people. They want black people to be pissed off at white people. So people are conveniently staying silent. They're not bringing any unity. You notice how I've been fair and balanced with this whole story? I gave Trey Reed just as much shine as I gave Corey Zukatis. Because with me, it's just about what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I don't care if you white, black, green, blue, purple, yellow. I'm going hard in the paint for you. So if you white and you've been done wrong, I'm making the content. If you black and you done wrong, I'm making the content. I'm going hard in the paint. What's right is right. And the content creators that don't do that, they trying to start race wars. They're showing you in their actions by their lack of coverage, by their lack of support, by their silence on this matter. I'm not talking about Corey Zukatis. They could do wall community posts. They ain't doing it. They could come back and make second videos, third videos. They not doing it. They too busy trying to tie Charlie Kirk into this situation. You know Charlie Kirk is white and he pushed that white supremacist and he's a racist and that's why they got him hung. They got Trey Reed hung from a tree. You gonna let Charlie get away with that? Even though Charlie Kirk is dead and been dead, so how the hell could Charlie Kirk himself have anything to do with this? The man is dead and gone. They whole arguments and they whole narratives and their content is null and void. But you know what? People on demon time, so they gonna support it. So hey, listen y'all, I broke this down. I'm getting out of here for real. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for the awesome conversations in the live chat. Thank you so much for your talking points. I'm nothing without you, your comments, your support, your time, whatever it is that you decide to contribute. I appreciate y'all. Let me make this clear. I appreciate my audience. I ain't one of them content creators that don't give a flip. I actually care about my audience. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. With that being said, I got things to handle and I'll be back on in a couple of hours. Make sure you hit the notification bell. If you haven't subscribed, if you have subscribed, and Brenda, I think I missed your $10 super chat. Shout out to, hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. I got to shout out Brenda. Yeah, here we go. Shout out to Brenda Rose for the $10 super chat. She didn't want anything. She had nothing to say. She just came through the support. I appreciate you, Brenda. Thank you for keeping the lights on, man. Y'all keep the building open. This is crazy, man. This is sad, man. I tell you, man, it's like life is turning into these movies and these TV shows and these video games. Like, it's turning for real now. It's straight GTA out here. Straight Grand Theft Auto out here. Yeah, Robert's right. He said he's noticed people who are on demon time bash you so much when you no longer here. Crazy. Yeah, exactly. They still be bashing me and I don't even be here. Other people that are no longer existing on this earth, like Charlie Kirk, getting bashed. Why is everybody that never had ish to say about Charlie Kirk all of a sudden got the smoke for Charlie Kirk now that he dead and gone? It's like they didn't want Charlie Kirk to clap back on him. If Charlie Kirk actually was still here, he would check a lot of folks. But see, now that Charlie Kirk is dead and gone, they feel like, yeah, we could talk about him now. We can go in on him now because he can't respond. Man, that's some nasty ass work, man. Listen, it's some evil, sick, satanic, demonic, demon time, witches, warlocks, game stalkers, monitoring spirits, people out here, man. You wonder why they talk about in the Bible 2/3 will pass away. Y'all wonder why that's brought up, man. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Let me get out of here for the final time. I'll be back in a couple of hours. I look forward to seeing y'all then. Just check out my page if you don't get notifications, because YouTube don't send out notifications. It is what it is. Just check out my video. I'm going to try to go live maybe in about like 3 hours or something like that from now. Sometime about 3.5 hours to give you an idea. So that's around 9 something or 10 something tonight. Yeah, Excedrin, right? That's very cowardly. You got a lot of cowards, and a lot of these people in the black churches are cowards because they were silent when Charlie Cook was alive. They ain't had no smoke to call Charlie Cook out. But now that he's dead and gone, they got all the heat, man. Straight cowards. Straight cowards. I hear you, Queen Israel. Queen Israel says, we don't need no Charlie to check no one. Yeah, I mean, we don't need him to check no one, but, you know, it is what it is. So, hey, let me get out of here, y'all. I'll catch y'all in about 3 hours. I'll see y'all about 3 to 3.5, so 3 to 4 hours. Peace and blessings to y'all in the chat. I'll see y'all then.